And joining us now, Senator for the state of Louisiana, Bill Cassidy. Welcome back to American Ground Radio, sir. Happy to have you here with us.
Stephen Lewis, great to be with you.
So today's kind of a historic day in I guess, a bad sense. This is the longest running government shutdown ever, and it's because the Senate has voted 14 times. And even though a majority of senators have voted to reopen the government, it's still not enough to get the job done, right?
You're absolutely right. But on the other hand, I think this actually bodes well for opening the government. I think Chuck Schumer wanted to stamp his foot and have the record for the longest shutdown. So I think this at least, and we're having the primaries in 4 different states today, the elections in 4 different states. I think they achieved their goal. Longer shutdown, got through the primaries, riled up their base, and he showed, by the way, he was willing to shut down the government to stick it to Trump and Republicans. Chuck's met his goals, now reopened.
But they haven't actually accomplished anything in all this. I mean, there's not a single thing that the Democrats have wanted that they've gotten other than publicity, right?
It's all, Stephen Lewis, it's all publicity. It's all politics. Because Schumer was afraid of an insurgency from his left wing. He's been captured by fear of his left wing. AOC was going to primary him. Now he can say, nope, I was willing to put the military on the line, air traffic controllers over the barrel, just to show I'm tough against Republicans and Donald Trump. He's got his, he's established his bona fides. Now we reopen the government. I'm frustrated. This is wrong, but that's what he's been doing.
You guys need 6 Democrats to stop this nonsense and come across. And you've worked across the aisle more than most, I would think, in the Senate. Can you name just, on 2 hands here, 6 Democrats that would actually cross the aisle and that would actually vote to reopen the government? If you had to name which 6 Democrats you think that would be, can you name them?
Well, of course, you got the 3 that already are there. You got Angus King, John Fetterman, and Catherine Cortez Masto. The other 3, I'll wait to see. You count the birds in your hand, not the birds in your bush. But I think that there'll end up being at least 3 more who say, wait a second, nonsense is going on long enough. Air traffic delays are now happening. TSA lines are lengthening because people are calling in sick. It's time to reopen. We'll get a vote to do our premium tax credits. We'll get our vote. Boom, we're out of here. I think it happens.
Now, Senator Cassidy, in a business, when you have a coworker that just isn't doing their job, or they're doing a very poor job of it, sometimes you'll go into their office, you'll close the door, and you'll say, hey, what's going on here? What's going on? Your job performance is really poor, really disappointed. Have you ever walked down the hall to Chuck Schumer's office and said, hey, can we have a word?
So first, I think you were telling me the conversation that you and Stephen had at one point in time, but I'm going to let that go.
Every now and then.
Just once?
Schumer is accomplishing what he thinks he should have to do. He, in his value system, Lewis, which I don't share, he is willing to put the well-being of the country on the line in order to protect his political left flank. Now, just to put this in perspective, we were asking to continue, or Mike Johnson was, a Biden-era budget for 7 weeks to continue negotiating, which Republicans had done for 13 different times for Schumer when they couldn't pass a budget. 13 different times Republicans supported, okay, let's keep the government open. And he made the decision, no, even though it's a Biden-era budget and we're going to continue to negotiating, I feel like he's a child, stamping his foot, saying, no, I won't. And he wouldn't open the government. By his value system, he's been doing the right thing, and that's what's the most frustrating thing about it, or one of the most frustrating things.
Senator, I want to switch gears here real quick because the Senate just voted to revoke President Trump's authority to issue tariffs. And as you know, tariffs have been bringing in.
The Senate or the Supreme Court?
I thought this was a vote in the Senate that was going through. Am I wrong on this?
I'm told it passed. Okay, I told it passed.
Yeah. So where did you stand on this, on revoking the president's ability to issue tariffs, since tariffs have been bringing in a lot of money for the government and giving Donald Trump some leverage in international negotiations?
I voted with the president, but by the way, more importantly, perhaps, anticipating that he may lose the Supreme Court case, have been working on a different piece of legislation that would restore authority should he lose it otherwise. And the system that I would put in place would work to bring more jobs to Louisiana, more jobs to the United States coming out of China. The president in the past has kind of spoken to the rationale of my legislation as being part of his rationale for tariffs. So I voted with the president, but by the way, I anticipate that he may even embrace my legislation should he lose the Supreme Court case.
Senator Bill Cassidy, we appreciate the time that you have here for us and that you've spent with us here on American Ground Radio, and we appreciate the work you're doing for the people of the state of Louisiana.
Hey, Stephen Lewis, thank you very much. I really admire your new digs.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate it.